You can write the most elegant smart contract in the world, but if the user closes the tab before signing the transaction, the product fails. The biggest threat to a modern blockchain application is not back-end code. It is user abandonment at the interface level. Decentralized systems introduce immense cognitive friction. Instead of a centralized bank holding custody of funds and reversing mistakes, the interface now requires the user to assume total, unforgiving responsibility for their assets. Traditional apps offer instant access via email and passwords, but Web3 forces users to navigate wallet connections, variable gas fees, and cryptographic approvals. Crucially, these actions are irreversible. There's no password reset or fraud department if a token approval fails. When a user hits a confusing step in a financial Web3 flow, they do not pause to figure it out. They abandon the platform entirely, and that permanent loss of trust kills long-term adoption. Enterprise product owners and founders face a distinct choice when building their front end. They essentially have two options for who constructs the decentralized user journey. The first option is relying on generalist, in-house product designers. These teams are highly skilled in standard web applications and keep upfront costs low. But applying standard design patterns to blockchain architecture often masks critical security steps. A designer unfamiliar with smart contract execution might hide an infinite token approval behind a simple continue button, exposing users to catastrophic wallet drains. The second option is heavily investing in a specialized Web3 design agency, like Sparkout. These firms exist to completely abstract the back-end complexity and map complex on-chain interactions into safe user flows. The decision comes down to your specific use case. You must evaluate whether your product warrants the financial dependency of an agency retainer or if standard interface design is sufficient. Evaluating an agency requires looking past their visual portfolio. A slick mockup does not prove a team knows how to structure a secure design process. This process evaluation matrix compares traditional UI against blockchain workflows. Standard workflows move straight to visuals and handoff. A Web3 agency utilizes a dense 9-step timeline. Critical differences happen early on. Experience strategy and information mapping translate smart contract requirements into usable interfaces. Experience strategy is mandatory because it dictates how dense financial data, like yield percentages and liquidity pools, is structured so users can make informed decisions. Moving to the end of the timeline, rigorous usability testing and technical handoff ensure the coded front-end aligns with blockchain security constraints before going live. This rigor comes with a clear trade-off. It delays your initial time to market, but it significantly steepens your user adoption curve post-launch by preventing errors. If you skip extended discovery phases to save time, you guarantee building a highly secure product that your users cannot figure out how to operate. One of the most difficult technical challenges to solve is blockchain latency. This is the period of uncertainty between a user signing a transaction and the network actually confirming it. Standard interfaces handle delays with static loading screens. In decentralized finance, leaving a user staring at a frozen spinner for 30 seconds causes immediate panic over lost funds. This split-screen comparison illustrates the solution. On the left, a traditional spinner offers no feedback. On the right, dynamic motion design holds attention during network delays. Isolating this flow, it visually communicates a pending smart contract state, keeping the user informed rather than anxious. Achieving this level of responsive design requires premium agency tools and highly specialized developer handoffs. The financial trade-off here is maintaining this interaction design on a monthly retainer, so the agency can continually update states as network conditions evolve. In decentralized finance, providing a predictable and responsive interface during network delays is the primary generator of user trust. For budget-conscious enterprises that already have a live product suffering from high drop-off rates, there is a lower-risk alternative: the Web3 UX audit. Instead of designing from scratch, an agency performs a heuristic analysis of your decentralized conversion flows. A heuristic analysis is an expert evaluation comparing an interface against established usability principles to identify design flaws. This audit isolates specific usability gaps, like poorly labeled transaction prompts, without forcing the company into a massive redesign contract. The trade-off shifts the cost structure. You pay upfront consulting fees for actionable data rather than immediate development execution. An objective UX audit definitively answers if your low adoption rate is an interface failure or if there is a fundamental issue with your product market fit. To decide if your specific project requires an external Web3 agency, you must evaluate the technical complexity of your product. This flowchart starts with a core question. What is your Web3 product complexity? It splits into two main branches based on the function of your application. Following the high complexity branch, we encounter products like DeFi dashboards, crypto wallets, and decentralized exchanges. If a product handles user funds directly or displays complex financial analytics, hiring a specialized agency is a non-negotiable expense for risk mitigation. Following the low complexity branch, we see basic NFT collections and standard Web 2 sites utilizing simple token gates. For these low-complexity projects or enterprise pivots, hiring an agency for a full 9-step process is likely a massive overspend. Standard in-house design is entirely viable here. The decision to outsource is entirely dependent on proximity. The closer the user's raw financial assets are to the interface layer, the more you need specialized designers. Good Web3 design has absolutely nothing to do with futuristic aesthetics or complex 3D graphics. The sole purpose of UI and UX in the blockchain space is risk mitigation. It exists to translate complex back-end actions into confident user clicks. The return on investment for a specialized agency is measured purely by the reduction of user errors and the retention of first-time users. In the Web3 ecosystem, clarity is the ultimate utility. Any interface that fails to provide absolute certainty will fail entirely.